crazy. It's crazy out here, man.
Yeah,
Imagine running through Dallas from the police, man.
yeah, it's it's crazy. I mean,
Mm.
you know what it is? The funny thing is, well, funny. I don't know as funny as if funny is the word, but Stephen A. Smith and Malika Andrews have been under fire because people are accusing them of not handling the Von Miller situation the same as they did the Josh Giddey situation. So in the case of Josh Giddey, it was
Oh,
more
did
like,
they?
yeah, because Josh Giddey they didn't say anything about that story until they caught they I mean heard of the backlash. But
Mm.
Von
Oh,
Miller, yeah, and Malika Andrews has a reputation for,
let's start the show. Let's start.
yeah. Okay, let's start the show.
Let's
Hey
start.
man, hey guys, welcome to another edition of Expected Game Plan, where we talk about trending topics relating to sports. For those of you who want to check out our other channel where we just talk about trending pop culture topic, go check out the Double Thought Show. We have a very good show for you guys today. We're going to talk, well, we started already talking about the Josh Giddey story, the developments. I mean, they say snitches get stitches, and some people don't want to get stitches, apparently. We're going to talk about Von Miller as well, the developments in that case. And I mean, we talked about it a bit already, but we'll dive a little bit more into I mean, what they're saying about the hypocrisy of ESPN, particularly Stephen A. and Malika Andrews. We're also going to talk about Ryan Shazier, yeah,
Wow, Ryan.
former NFL player who almost got paralyzed for life. Now, uh, well, being
Back.
dragged, being dragged in social media by his partner for being, or former partner, for being a serial cheater. And depending if we have if we have more time, we might talk about some other topics. Maybe the blackface topic. Uh,
Ooh,
uh
that's
that's a
a tough
may
one.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe we can do that at the end. But yeah, man. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell as well. Don't forget to share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And comment. Let us know what you think. Whether you agree or disagree, that's not really important. Just feel free to share your thoughts and opinion on uh, our channel. This is an open platform. Contrary to other platforms, you are allowed to express your opinion. With that being said, let's get into today's show. I'm gonna edit one more time.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, man. Josh. Josh Giddey. Crazy, man. Crazy. We talked about this last week, and it's kind of an introduction to the topic where basically it was revealed that Josh Giddey was out here having inappropriate relationships with underage women. I don't know. Well, let's call it a underage woman, not woman.
Yeah, one.
One of that we know of.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
gonna say.
no. Yeah, this.
Apparently, dude, did you know? So apparently, right now, I think you open it right. They don't. Maybe the teen and the parents don't want to get stitches because they don't. They are refusing to cooperate with the police.
Yeah. Well, something's very off about that story, I have to say, because it's either very reckless by Josh Gady or something didn't go the way it's supposed. Because they were, as it seemed, in a relationship, or at least it was more than just one time thing. Josh Gady was on socials hugging her, so it's either very reckless of him or he wasn't, he was lied to. I heard some people, so I've read that people in his camp were saying that he didn't know about the age. Now you hear a lot of stories. I think just last week was it last week or was it maybe an old news that I heard of last week where what's her name? Gloria Velez
Oh yeah, yeah,
was
yeah. It's. I think we're gonna talk about it also in one of these next shows, on the
okay
double talk show.
on
So
the double touch show. Yeah.
Gloria
So
Perez, where she's accusing Uncle Luke of was it Gloria Velez? Yeah, she no, it wasn't Uncle Luke. It was the other guy, the singer. They met each other in the club, and the guy assumed because it's a over 21 club, he assumed she was 21, and then
yeah,
when they were trying to go to they were dealing with each other for a couple of months, and um after dealing with each other, they decided to fly to Jamaica, have a good vacation, and that's when he real at
at the airport.
the airport they got stopped because she's 16 and she needed approval from her parents, and
Yeah,
then that's when he realized that he's been dealing with a 16-year-old. But
yeah.
we'll
Well,
talk about it during the other show.
yeah, we're gonna talk about it in that show. But so my point is this exactly that sometimes you get into a situation where you assume that someone is not a minor. Now, nowadays they're saying always ask always ask for the ID just in case. But I and people aren't talking, so that's a bit difficult, of course. To I mean, it's all speculation. But the question, well, the question is, however, so there are a lot of weird things, but on both sides. So not to say sometimes there are weird things on the accuser side, but in this case also on Judge Giddey's side. I mean, if it was a one-time incident where you met her in a club, that's different. But if you have, I mean, if you have something outside of the club, if you go out, I mean, you would think that the information, the more information would come up, and that's why it's not like a one-time thing, because in the Gloria Velez thing, it was like a one-time thing. But even then, if it's a one-time thing, you snuck into a 21 and older club, I would assume that you're 21, you're not. But if we see each other after the fact, then one of the first question you ask is, how old are you? I mean, now, if she lied
Well,
and said 18, then I don't know. I mean, it's
we're not
difficult.
just gonna lie. Usually, when you deal with these situations, right? You met her at over 21 or club. Maybe she has a fake ID, and then you're in the same predicament, RJ.
Yeah. Well,
Because she's
then,
going to show you
but
the
then,
fake ID, and then you're not an expert in IDs. He's just a basketball player, or as I call it, he can just dribble. And maybe he can think. That's one thing I said last
he
week.
plays he plays pretty well. He plays pretty
Yeah,
well.
I'm saying he's a good player. Maybe he's not that smart, but that's another topic.
He's young. He's young, but and young people do dumb things
Yeah, yeah.
because you're young, and a lot
Yeah.
of power, a lot of money, short period of time, and at least short, not for a short period of time, but in a relatively young stage. And that's the thing about athletes. A lot of times, the best times are behind them. So once they finish, they retire. A lot of them, their best times are behind them, and some of them are able to like grow.
They peak
But
in their 20s.
yeah, so but yeah, it's very interesting that the family isn't talking. I would assume that there's a settlement here, that I mean, I pay you, you stay quiet, but still we need to see what the NBA will do, because maybe there aren't official allegations, or at least maybe there won't be a judgment or court decision against him. Maybe he won't be penalized, but that doesn't mean that the NBA might not be able to enforce certain disciplinary measures.
Yeah, but don't forget one thing I want to point out. Don't forget that maybe Giddey already met the parents. Maybe they assume he knew what he knew, and he likes the girl, and then they are seeing a come up. I mean, however you put it, I don't know whether she's from a wealthy family or not. There's not much known of it, but maybe they see. it as a come up for her, and they're like, okay, we're gonna accept it. But do you think, RJ, do you think that it's probably the best that Josh has her and their parents sign maybe an agreement? Because let's say, well, we all know no relationship is still forever. They might break up, and in 10 years from now, he's the big bad wolf. He's the new Diddy. Should he ever sign something, and or maybe he's already had to sign something? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the best
Well,
way
I think
for
yes,
him?
it is. I think for both of them, um, because as a for your child, you first of all, it was the girl who went live or on social media and published it, right,
Yeah, first
and
pick.
spread it to the world. So she was the one who started this whole thing. But maybe the family also needs to be protected, or at least no, the family also want their child to be protected. So because as long as if this story keeps dragging on, her name will be dragged on with it. And I mean, she's 15. I think she's 16 now. You know, high school, mean girls, bullying, those type of things will probably follow. And maybe this is also a way where the parents, maybe one of the reasons why the parents aren't cooperating is to also limit that side effect. um, it's already out, it's already ongoing, but maybe they reached a settlement, uh, to with a gag clause. You don't talk, you don't say anything, keep your mouth shut, so both parties can limit their damages. The longer this goes on, the longer each of their names will be will continue to be dragged into this whole story. And I could argue, so you can argue, and this, of course, this is purely from a legal standpoint, not from a moral standpoint, but purely from a legal standpoint, it might be the best thing to do. Morally, some people will say, you know what, I believe that Josh Giddey needs to get. So we're gonna talk about Stephen A. Smith and Malika Andrews as well once we finish with the next story, which is the Von Miller story. But
But maybe we should transition to how actually the way they handled this Josh Giddey story first, and then we transition to one.
well, if you mean by they, are you referring to ESPN?
Malika Andrews, because
Well, she did,
she's
yeah,
been
because
blasted by Des Bryant.
Yeah, she's been blasted by a lot of people because Malika Andrews is always so like it's a sports channel. She has a sports platform, but it seems like she always wants to remind everyone of, let's say someone did something in the past, she will bring it up, like just because she wants to bring it up. Of course, I mean, if you want to bring it up, if you want to talk about it, that's good, but you need to be consistent in what you do.
Mm.
And the reason why I want to talk about the two, and maybe I'll just talk about this, and then we can transition to Von Miller. But the what the reason why they said they didn't say anything about Josh Giddey was because the information wasn't there. But
The
as it relates
information
to
wasn't there. What they
yeah,
want to
not
see then?
no, listen, I'm just telling you. One of the things, one of the things that one of their arguments were that one of their arguments was that there's not enough information, the investigation is still ongoing, so we can't say anything.
Mm.
With regards to Von Miller, and again, it's not about what they did was wrong or not, because both of the things that these people are being accused of are wrong, right? So, but that's not the issue. The issue is that, and you know how it is with in the US, where race gets immediately thrown into it. But it's like people are saying, is it because Josh Giddey is white that he's getting a chance? And Von Miller isn't, because what they were saying, and I don't know if you watched that episode of ESPN First Take.
Mm.
Was
No,
it First
no.
Take? It's not first. I'm not, but it's ESPN. I'm not sure if it was the first, if it's First Take, but it is ESPN. They were saying we don't know if the story is true. Stephen A. Smith as well. We don't know if the story is true. However, if it is true, and then they went in on Von Miller. Next one, like you said, Stephen A. I agree. We don't know if the story is true. However, and then he went in, and then a woman, she also went in, and it's like I don't know all these people's names.
And
To be
then
honest. I'm
and
not watching. I'm not watching debate shows anymore.
anymore.
But it's like, but it's like
Mamalika has a
it's
as a
the
as
same.
a
It's the same thing. So it's the same thing, and I think people were saying if you're going to talk about, bring things like this up in shows without information, what and it's either you don't mention anything, so you don't even talk about the Von Miller story
mm,
until all information is has been disclosed, and then you don't do it with like you did with Josh Giddey, or you say something immediately. So you say, if this is true, then this, and then you should do it with not only the so I'm gonna go with the race narrative, because that's what's being said.
the
Not
thing.
only the white play, not only the black players, but also the non-black players, because they're saying that that's the reason why they believe she's doing it.
Oh, she has a past,
Com-
right?
Complexion for
She
the
has.
protection.
She has a past. Let's not act like she didn't hammer Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
She was
Well,
talking wild about Ime.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think that's also plays here.
I think that's her
Point. And
issues.
also with Brandon Miller during the draft, she was talking reckless, naming his his whole rap sheet
Yeah,
during
yeah,
the draft. What the heck? What the heck does this have to do with the
yeah,
draft?
yeah. I think she has to be honest, seems to be like she has
A
a
vendetta.
trauma. No, no, a trauma or something.
Mm,
So I don't know, but she needs to be able to. She needs to separate it and be the professional. Either you talk. The point is this, KR. Either you talk about it and you do it consistently, or
yeah.
you don't and you do it consistently. You don't get to nitpick and choose which stories you do cover and which ones you don't cover. And that's basically what people are saying. If you're gonna do it consistently.
Yeah. Do agree on
And,
that.
and that's why in her case, it seems as though she has, let's say, an underlining trauma or whatever issue that she feels that she needs to say something, and only in particular cases, but not in all cases.
Be specific. In particular cases relating to who?
Well, black.
Just be specific. Relating to
Come
who?
on, man.
That's not nitpick as well, right? Say how it
Yeah.
is.
So
But
black, yeah,
we all know. I'm just kidding,
black,
of course,
yeah. I
but
know. Well, you started it. So black man will will catch heat, and will get flack, but white man get the benefit of the doubt. Is the complexion for the protection?
of in Malika's case, let's continue.
Yeah.
Ah man.
She's also the fact that she's got engaged with a white man a couple of
Mm.
doesn't help her. Doesn't
Swirler.
help her case. Let me put it.
She's a swirler, as they would say in the black community.
There was the whole situation where
Rose.
Jalen Rose hugged her. Well,
Oh
put her
yeah,
put her arm. It's like
her reaction was very weird in that
it
situation.
wasn't even. It was not even a church hug. And then she said, "Kid, take your
Yeah, that shit was
hands out of my take your finger out of my armpit,
armpit. Yeah, that
Jalen."
was very
And
weird.
the arm was like not even close to the armpit. So it's those things. And the problem with diversity hire is that
Yeah, let's not go there.
now, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this.
Okay.
The problem with that now is that if she gets fired,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they won't say it was because she didn't do her job well. The narrative will easily, just like the narrative now is raised, the narrative will easily become sexism. It's because she's a woman.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
And that's that's all I want. I mean, there was the other anchor. What's her name? The one who was spied on.
Was spied on?
Yeah, I forgot her name.
I
Wait.
don't know these people, dude. So
Yeah,
I
wait,
don't
wait.
even watch ESPN like that.
No,
It's
no, this is like a couple of
months ago.
Rachel Nichols. No, years ago. So
Rachel
Rachel Nichols.
from Skip and
Yeah, so now she's there, but she used to be at ESPN,
yeah.
and she got fired
Oh,
because
yeah.
she was saying that a lady, it was another um black female personality, that she
Mm.
was a diversity hire, and she got
Mm.
fired for it. But then she was saying that it was she went on All the Smoke with, shout out to All the Smoke, with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and she
Mm.
told her side of the story, and it almost seemed like a setup to get her away from there. So this whole it's like this whole thing g- um that was happening. They were spying on her and recorded something. Now, whether she said what she said, whether it's correct or not correct, that's something to be discussed about, but it does seem like top down, ESPN has a certain agenda and a certain narrative, or certain narratives that they want to push. And so people get fired. So let's say the ambassadors of those narratives will get
Since you
promoted,
open, uh,
and others will get fired.
since you opened that door, who owns ESPN? Let's continue. Let's continue. Next topic, man. Von Miller. Von Miller out here running in Dallas. He turned himself in. He turned himself in after being accused of what? His girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend.
That's never a good thing.
That's never a good thing. And definitely looking at how the Bills is out here playing, they need Vaughn. Well, Vaughn has been a well. I don't think they need him right now because he has been invisible the last two games. But so they won't miss him. But this is not a good look, man. Out here punching up a pregnant lady, a
Yeah.
pregnant nice lady.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that. I've seen I've experienced similar.
Continue.
I've experienced similar mm, things in real life. So as a
Wait.
lawyer,
Be specific.
yeah. So I was getting there before you were trying to be funny. I was getting there.
How are you talking? I experienced something. Were you the one behind or laughing?
No, because listen, as a lawyer, you get
You get a lot
as
of
as
things.
a lawyer, you hear a lot of things, right? So, and in that sense, I've heard a lot of clients saying, there's one particular client of mine I can remember in the past. The father was had owned a lot of land and had three children,
Mm-hmm.
and the father wanted to leave of course, his assets to the children. Well, that was his wish. When I started investigating, I saw that there were a lot of liabilities as well. But okay, one of the children, it was like two daughters, one son, if I'm not mistaken, and the son was wild. So the son, everywhere he went, everyone he talked to, the bank, the insurance companies, notary, lawyers, and the family, everyone he talked bad about, and was a physical person. So the family really feared that he would come and fight them. And one of the sisters said that she got punched when she was pregnant.
Ooh,
And I always, it always, as a man, you should never do that. That's the first thing. But a lot of times, KR, it's putting yourself in a certain situation. You and this and I want to say this clearly because it's not blaming the victim. If someone consistently brings out the worst in you, or if you, I have to say it differently, if you let someone consistently bring out the worst in you, then you should just get some space, because it's better to be away from that person than to be there and assault that person. So if you can't control yourself, or if you feel like you're being triggered, then you should just remove yourself from that situation.
damn
Because
right.
once you do what they're saying you did, if it's true, then the damage is already done. And no matter what happened before that, you did something that wasn't supposed to happen.
They have had, from what I recall, uh, vaguely, they have had an on and off relationship. So I think there have been problems in the past. See, it seems like the typical toxic, toxic couple. You know, they fight, not literally, but well, break up, date other people, come back together. They have two kids together,
I believe
allegedly.
that.
Huh?
I believe that.
Yeah, they have two kids together, and this is, by the way, let me show you. Let me show you the. This is them together. Well, not together, but the pictures of the people we're talking about. This is her.
Jesus.
She has his name tatted on him. She had she had his name tatted on him,
She
and
removed
then,
it.
well, no, she didn't really remove it. She covered it up. She covered it up with the most logical thing you can cover it up with, which is a heart. But I'm not sure when allegedly word on the streets is she was out here dating during one of those breakups. She was out here dating Bobo.
Are you serious?
Bobo's girl was fighting, and her name is Megan Denise, or Megan Denise. They were beefing on social media with each other.
Yeah.
So Bobo is out here,
Being
probably
tall.
hit it one time, hit it, quit it. You know how savage you gotta be when you're hitting and quitting someone with the name of their ex on the chest. That's he's looking. Oh,
You're assuming that they were looking each other in the face.
well,
I
you
think
have to. It's hard to hey. It's hard not to look with those melons. Let's put it that way. You cannot look away.
uh,
Hey, shout out to Bobo, man. Bobo is holding it down for everyone. It gives us hope that
yeah.
when you get the money, it's like Scarface. He's living the Scarface
Yeah.
life.
I
First
don't
you
know
get
if
the
that.
money, then you get the
Yeah.
beautiful females.
Yeah. No, but sometimes, I mean, I've experienced, so toxicity comes from both people, from two
Yeah.
people, always. And it's always fun and games until someone gets really hurt. And I have had a client in the past who eventually was incarcerated because they were, I mean, there was a divorce case at some point,
Mm.
and the man was my client. And when I got there, I was waiting on him, and the lawyer of the lady was also waiting on her, and they came in together. So the man, because the girl doesn't have a car, so he brought her there. And then in the courtroom, they fought and talked, a lot of greasy things. But then
Trash.
the judge said, "Hey, but listen, you guys are." It was like clearly toxic because they were like almost neighbors, and they were talking to each other bad but joking as well. So the judge was like, "Oh, this is just the way you guys are. You guys have a very unique situation."
Unique way of communicating.
9 months later, dude took her out in front of 4 children.
Jeez.
So
Jeez.
it's all fun and games. It's
Until it, yeah.
Yeah, and so again, toxicity comes from two people. One, and you need to remove yourself. Some people, KR, are addicted to the toxicity because that's all they know.
They've seen it with their mama being a single mom, or maybe they've seen it with the mom and dad in house, and they having on and off relationship. They don't
Yeah,
understand how to work together. It's all a build up, right? You don't have the right concept of what is a good relationship. So you build upon your frame of reference, which is totally screwed,
yeah,
and then you end up having kids with someone you don't actually you like as a
as a
sexual
man, but not as a father.
partner, but not as a but you're not compatible as humans, as
Yeah, yeah,
character wise.
yeah.
You end up like this. I'm not sure if I've heard. I haven't seen an official report yet. I've heard that she was saying that this is not true. He didn't hit her, and
Yeah, yeah.
what
Always standard.
who knows what happens, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
but this.
always afterwards. They always that well.
Yeah,
It always also happened with what's the guy, the Ravens player who got booted out of NFL for punching up his girlfriend in the elevator. Same with him. I can't recall his name, but after he was removed and he didn't get any jobs anymore in the NFL, she said, "Yeah, he didn't mean it like that." And hey, I should. Some people and I saw a video um, last week where some people are very passive aggressive, right? And
yeah,
they know the triggers of other people, and they keep pressing
yeah.
on it, pressing on it until the people explode. You gotta ask yourself, right? Of course, the people that explodes becomes real easy accused as the abuser, the in that case. But isn't also someone who's passive aggressive knowing your points of trigger and explosion? Isn't that also kind of a
It
form
is
of
a
abuse?
no. It is a form of abuse, KR. But
It's hard to. I
a
know. I know what you're
scar,
trying
a
to say.
scar can be seen. A physical scar, a bruise, it can be seen. A cut can be seen. It can be witnessed. You can take a picture. What's happening inside can't be seen. So although it's very difficult. Just like what's it called, financial abuse that people are call. I mean, you can just yell out things, right? But at the end of the day, this is the fact. We live in a world, it's not a fair world, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you gotta deal
Someone
with
can
it.
someone can someone can talk trash to you 30 days long consecutively, talking about you, talking about your past, talking about your family, talking about your job, talking about every little thing.
You know what? Yo, I only have to do this, and everyone knows what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
She's gonna say it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the funny thing. When you broke up, suddenly you it doesn't measure up anymore.
Suddenly it shrinks with 2 inches.
Shrink.
So it's like,
You're shrimp boy, right? Suddenly you're shrimp boy.
yeah. So they will talk a lot of things, and the and we saw it with Amber Heard as well in that case clearly,
Oh, that one was crazy.
because when that happens, you can go to the police. You know what the police will do if you say that? They will laugh in your face. The
They
police won't
definitely
do
did, right?
the police
Everyone laughed.
won't do anything. But at the end of the day, KR, I believe it's your responsibility to remove yourself from a situation, because on the 31st day, you decided that it's over. You've
Mhm.
had it. And the 30 days that you've withheld yourself, you will throw it all away in one day. And what usually happens, and that's, hey, this is KR, it happens. I've experienced this with my clients as well, a lot of times. What happens is that they want to sue him for what happened in that moment, but
Mhm.
then they think about the children, or then they think about what the consequences are for them if that person goes to jail.
Mhm.
If the person is a deadbeat, doesn't take care of anything, only causes trouble, sometimes, I mean, a lot of times the woman will still try to save him and not let him go to jail. But especially if there, I mean, with there are children, and with these prices, KR, that usually happens. And the sad thing is that this could have been avoided, but some people do not know otherwise. And I just hope, so this is what I don't want. If you did something bad, the system can punish you. It's just a risk. Not
Mhm.
always, but the system can. But whether the system punishes you or not, let's say the system doesn't punishes you, the system doesn't punish you, you need to, I mean, don't put yourself in that situation, because you risk throwing everything away for a moment of not being in control.
You will be shamed for not sharing your feelings, and you will be shamed if you record your own abuse. They will shame you. Are you that type of dude? You're recording
Well,
her oh, verbally abusing you. She's gonna continue abusing you, and then you're being shamed into pressing stop recording.
well, as a lawyer, I would
Sometimes people would do
no,
press that.
as a lawyer, I would say record it,
Yes, you
because
should. But the thing is, you know how it is, RJ. You get shamed on, and then you're like, you know what? It the mind plays tricks on you, and some people know how to manipulate you to not defend yourself by recording. Hey, talking about recording. Some people out here sharing DMs. Ryan Shazier, man. Ryan went from a paralyzed, well, he was I liked him as a Steelers, first of all, linebacker. Hard, tough man, and suddenly he fell. It was crazy. And then it was revealed that he cannot walk, and he fought back, going from a paralyzed former player to someone who is, I think, he's still in the Pittsburgh community doing his thing. But apparently, his wife is claiming that he went from paralyzed NFL player to a liar and a cheater.
yeah, was it
She shared his
post
DMs.
yeah, but
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was
no, yeah,
this is
yeah. Recently,
post
recently.
the okay, yeah, so
So
not
his
like an old
history happened.
story or something that she discovered that happened like six
No, no,
years
no, no,
ago.
no, 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 no. 6 years ago, yeah, that's no, that's when the injury happened, the spinal cord injury. 2017, and he fought back. And recently, his wife discovered his DMs talking with another girl, discussing, let's call it flirty texts, and sending. She took pictures. So I think the thing what happened here was that he probably logged in on the. It seems like he logged in on the laptop or computer with his socials and left it open, and the wife went digging
Yeah.
because all the pictures that have been shared are not print screens, so not screenshots. It's all pictures of what has been discussed. The funny thing is, what funny thing is that she revealed that he has been, let's say, sending raunchy text to another woman, but he claims they've been separated, living
It's Will,
apart.
Will and Jada all over.
It's Will and Jada, except they're not keeping each other
Hostage at the table.
at the red table, to be
Yeah.
precise. No, but I think it's quite a crazy story, man. It's basically, it seems like he's trying to go on with his life, and his wife is accusing him of going on with his life after they have separated.
Yeah. Well, they're separated, but they're still married.
Yes.
Is that correct? So maybe that's her point. She's saying that
Well, come
the
on, man.
cheating.
So you're gonna tell me that she hasn't talked to anyone during their separation?
Yeah, I don't know,
or,
but
or, or or are there different double
yeah.
standards here?
I don't know, and
A
that's
man should.
I don't know, and I don't think that's, to be honest, I don't think that's the most important thing. That, let's say, the most important thing, in my opinion, is that the 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 exposing, because they have a child together. Do they have a child together?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Two, I
So
think.
the exposing of someone publicly has negative consequences for yourself and for your children. So it's just better to handle it privately, because now it's not your story. You had the need to tell it to the world, and now the world, they have two children, okay, and the world now is involved. And even if you two make it up, so you two make up, or if, I mean, the children, they grow up, they go to college. I don't know how old they are, but let's say they go to college. I mean, that story will keep haunting them in the future. And that's, to me, is this whole social media era where people feel the need to tell things and share things, and involve other people that have nothing to do. People don't have anything to do in your relationship with your husband. So if you found something, you have your friends, I would assume, so you can talk it over to your friend, talk it over with your friends, or you can confront him. But in any case, so I would always say privately, because it's still the father of your children, and it's still someone you would need to deal with. It's not wise to do so. But hey, people just like the attention, and they want the validation as well, that what he did was wrong. So
I
then
think
she
I
would
think that's the thing. It's the validation part. People usually, that's why I think a lot of times people don't discuss these things in private, right? It's the validation, and maybe she's planning her exit. In
Yeah.
order to plan your exit, to have an exit, you can already start shaming the guy for doing what he does, even though you're separated, and then you can continue, and then we'll
Yeah.
hear in the
But you
next 2 months, 3 months that they started the procedures to for a divorce.
they could have started it already, or they can start it in 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year, without having had to, without needing to do this.
I agree with
Because
you.
with the pictures, you can show it to the judge.
I
Then show
agree
it to the
with you,
judge.
but that's
Why would
not
you
how
go?
people think these days. That's not how people think these days. They want to get that validation. They get to be people always. That's just the thing in what we have. The problem we have right here, right? People always want to be right. They want their narrative to be the one that's having the upper hand in the public eye. What they do in order to do that, you have to share that someone took advantage of a situation, or is the abuser in this case. So, or how you want to call it, the cheater, the liar. We'll never know what happened before that. Was it anyway? Good luck to Shazier, man. Ryan,
Yeah.
he's limping to the. You know who's also limping?
Who?
The Buffs. They're limping. End of the season. Tough season, man. They started off right. They started off very right. And then it turned, I'll say it turned into shit.
Hmm.
3-0, from 3-0 to 4 in from 3-0 to 4-8. 4 wins, 8 losses. Four more than last year. So
Yeah.
that's a 400% increase. Hey, but it's tough, man. And people have already started decommitting, man.
Yeah.
We were praising Dion, and I still think Dion can turn that ship around. But I think maybe, maybe he has to. Maybe this is gonna be his toughest job as a coach, as the face of an organization, as the general manager of an organization, because it's not gonna go easy. That you're not gonna get the wins handed to you like at Jackson State. Definitely, that's not gonna happen. So you're now in the Pac-12. You have to have good coaching, and the coaching part is on him. And of course, you need talent. Can't win without talent. I think that's something we learned from Bill Belichick. Can't win without talent, but sometimes he was making well his his coaching staff was not making the right decisions, and it seems like other people have been watching. And a second high ranked player decommitted this past week. So let's see how it goes, man. It's I think it's a shame. He started that good, and then well, I guess it's not as easy, right?
It's definitely not easy. And to be honest, so you've been watching football more than me. I watch a lot of used to watch a lot of basketball, not anymore because I don't have the time to watch it as much. But in basketball, it's very what's interesting about basketball, and that's also exciting about basketball. So it's a different kind of excitement. Is that they play? So let's say the NBA, they play 82 games, and in 82 games, you have enough time to start bad, but still turn it around. With football, whether it's professional football or college football, it's just like you have a couple of weeks, you have a couple of games, and you win or you lose. But you can end up at the top, one season and then at the bottom the next one. Dion started very well. I think he had momentum on his side. He had a lot of enthusiasm on his side, a lot of celebrities
Working on the
visiting.
sideline.
Yeah. But what he thought that he could do with the team that he had, what he has, is I think he thought he could do more. The defense from the first game, I told you, they were tackling, they were just like
They were
caressing,
tackling air.
they were just caressing the offensive players.
Uh,
And you told me, no, it's not like that until you watch it. And you said you might be right. And that's to
I
me
watched
was just
full
that,
game.
that
So before that, before you were watching more games, so as the length more game than me. I was watching in the beginning. I was watching more the recap, and then when I watched a live game, I was like,
yeah,
these guys can play.
yeah. So it's like it's like the
And
defense, but Dion was banking on people committing. Dion's whole motto is if you don't function, you need to go because I need to get someone else. And now the someone else isn't coming in.
yeah,
And what do you do now? Now I do think that Dion is still Dion. So you can always get um, a player who's not like a top ranked player, but is like a solid, for example, number
three
10.
star,
I mean,
3 out
yeah,
of 5.
3 out of 5, but still solid and can do enough and with the right work ethic. And yeah, I think Dion can work with that. So, but he was when the way the first couple of games were going, if he could have continued that trend, he would get he would get to choose between five stars or 4.5 stars or 5.5 stars, for example, but not now. He needs to pick what he has, and I don't think that's the ideal situation for him based on his system. Other coaches were criticizing him because they were saying, no, you need to have a program that develops player, not throw players away if they don't play well. But his
That's
style is
that's
hire
easy.
people.
That's
But
easy to say.
yeah, when
But
you're winning, yeah, when you're
but
winning,
not
and
only that, not only that. So, for example, if you're getting 5 star recruits as Alabama, well, there's not a lot. Well, you have to develop, of course, but they already have a higher base and a higher ceiling, so you
yeah,
don't have to develop as much. If you have a 2 star recruit and you have to develop him up to 3 or 4, with a chance he will go to Alabama after, then what's the point?
that's true. That's true. But hey, it's his style. His style
Yes, no.
is his message has always been do the job or get replaced. And now, but the same goes for him. So I do think that he has the ability. If someone can turn it around, it's him. He still has the name. He can still get the views. So I think he just needs to start winning. And yeah, we just need to wait and see what will happen. But I think we
Well,
all expected more, and it was very underwhelming what we got to see.
I made a small mistake. This is the third decommissioned player. Yeah, he decommitted. He had a 4 star quarterback who decommitted. He had a 5 star wide receiver who decommitted, and right now a 3 star quarterback who's decommitting. So
Yeah, we'll see. Well,
let's see.
let's see.
Maybe he'll have to be the quarterback next year.
No, he did say that this is the toughest time he has experienced in a long time,
Yeah.
but he is no. I mean, he's a winner all his life. He's been a winner all his life, and so now it's just another challenge for him. But if he can overcome it, you know, then it would be great. And overcoming it, the Buffaloes still finished with a better record than the last 2 years combined. So it's, let's say, in that sense it's better. But when you start with a 4 game with when you start a season with a 4 game winning streak, and then you proceed by losing almost all the other games, if not all, then yeah, it's not what you want. In any case, KR, uh, did you want to talk about the?
Yeah, let's give it the last 5 minutes, last couple of minutes, some time to the black facing of the kid. It's crazy, man. So this was what was shown on TV. Could you how can I how can I ask the right question in this case? Do you assume based on a short shot that it's a black face with all these people around, or do you investigate further before you write a article about it? In that case,
Yeah, I mean,
because
depending,
because
it depends what your goal is, and I think nowadays news is to get people riled up, to get people to go comment things, and people are just, I mean, people are stressed out, people are have a lot of tension, people have a lot of problems going on in their lives, paying child support, being having 3 baby mamas, doing going through a lot of things, getting fired, getting replaced by ChatGPT, and so all these things going on in their lives, and they need something to
to
they need
release
something to release their frustration on,
decompress.
and then yes, and then you have reporters who know that, and then they will, because it's either bad reporting or it's deliberately,
Yeah.
and I tend to think that it's the latter, because how can you miss this? You really wanted to post this because you know that it would get, it would catch, it would get trending, and whether the kid needs to suffer for it, that's not important. Your career is the most important thing. So yeah, it to
So
me.
so this is so this there was a backlash on the rider because of course in reality that wasn't the face. It wasn't fully black. First of all, so then let me say this: when soldiers do night raids, what color is the faces painted? Do you think?
Mhm.
So they are anyway. So, but let's take a look at the kit. What it was? It was one side black, one side red. As a fan,
Mhm.
so people show this picture. Well, the guy slammed and he doubles down. For the idiots in my mentions who are treating this as a some harmless act because the other side of his face was painted red, I could make the argument that it makes it even worse. Y'all are the ones who hate Mexicans but swear sombreros on sorry, but wear sombreros on Cinco
Yeah,
de Mayo. What?
that's not it. I mean,
But
he has to double down. He has to double down. I mean, yeah, it's people are gonna think what they want, people are gonna say what they want, and as I said, race is a very ticklish issue. The commanders had to change their names. I mean, uh,
they're trying to get Braves.
the
They are
Braves.
really trying to get the Braves to change their name. I don't know what they.
Brave is in. Are they gonna change the anthem too?
Yes.
I know, but
Yeah,
that's like,
because yo, I don't yo.
it's like going to war,
By the
right?
way, one thing I always want to point out. If you think about it, okay, let's say they change the name, right? Aren't you actually removing natives all from the face of the earth representation. There
Representation.
is nothing showing of of. I'm not saying Redskins is the right name, right? That's a crazy name if you think about it. But Braves,
It's like literally, and the home of the brave. Are they gonna change the anthem to that? That's what I ask you.
it's gonna be
It's an
that.
anthem. It's an national anthem. But hey, what I've seen, especially in spaces like this, you have people who are pro, you have people who are against, and no matter what you say they're gonna be pro, and they're going to be against. I think we are moving in the direction right now where none of this will matter. People will um, people will feel a certain way, and everything's a problem. So no one can do anything. So we will all be um, paralyzed in moving because everything can be. We can offend someone, and so nothing is permissible anymore. And then basically it we will be easier to manipulate because the media just has to tell you that something isn't wrong and you will believe it.
Who
Anyway,
is who?
the
Okay,
media companies.
okay, okay.
You understand it? If I go down, this channel goes down with me, right? Trying to set
We
up trick
jump off.
questions, man.
We jump off.
Oh
No,
man,
but at the end, they also tried to put the cultural appropriation
misappropriation.
misappropriation on him. Then they said, yeah, he has ties to natives back in the. I dude, this is crazy, man. At a certain point, the whole cultural stuff, everyone borrows for everyone.
Yeah,
This has been this is a fact.
yeah.
This is
Dreadlocks,
fact.
dreadlocks didn't come from Africa. They came from Europe. The
Well,
Vikings. I'm
well,
just telling you. So this is the point, right? That's the whole thing. The Vikings.
well,
But
but not only that. These days, hair come from the horse. No, I'm just kidding. Let's stop the show. Let's stop the show. Time to wrap up.
hey, do you listen? Do you
Yeah.
everyone and have and this is important. You can have your opinion and you should stand on your opinion. But when you're done with your opinion, don't forget to go out there and go kick ass and go get your promotion, you build your business, do something because at the end of the day some people get stuck into this space
Yeah.
and keep being manipulated by reporters into how they have to think while not getting their paper right, not getting their money right. So feel whatever you want to feel, think whatever you want to think, but at the end of the day, go get that paper because if you have your things in order and everyone around you everyone has their things in order, you know, we can all ball
Who's we?
together
Who's we?
and we can as people we
Okay.
I told you, man, this platform is gonna go down with me, man. Keep asking all these trick questions, trying to
Right.
set me up. But but yeah, so it is. So do whatever you want to do, but don't forget to do that part as well. Because everyone that you're criticizing, the if the child was at the front, so that means the father had money to go and sit to get a good seat at the game. So maybe you should start thinking about
You're taking it. Now you're saying it. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you might be
yeah,
right.
yeah. So
You're
try, so
focusing on the wrong things. You
yeah, try,
dummy.
yeah.
Or maybe
I mean, you can have your opinion. It's okay to have it, but can you sit there? And if you can, go focus on trying to sit there. Because then, I mean, yeah. Anyway, with that
what
being said,
I think, by the way, before you close the show,
yeah,
having an opinion is one thing, right? Being open for other people's opinion and being able to change your thought based on other information you receive is the difference between an ignorant person and someone who's functional in society. That's
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference, right? If you get information and then after that you block every entry without being able to weigh information based on additional information you've received, then you're in my view, you're purely an ignorant person. But
Yeah, you're ignorant. Yeah. Yeah.
hey, good luck with you guys out here.
Yeah. More on this on the Double Thought Show, guys. If you want to go check us out, don't forget this is the sports channel, Expected Game Plan. Go check our shows on the Double Thought Show as well, where we talk about non-sports trending topics. As it relates to this show, we want to thank you for tuning in. Please share your thoughts and opinions. If you disagree, share it as well. This is an open platform, so we can share and all learn from each other. Remember to share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time, peace.
Peace.
We don't block nobody here. For what? To make them niggas think they important?
You should run these things past me first, man.
Hey, man. Hey, everyone. Have a nice Monday. Have a nice week.
Take care.